And welcome to the Interlocking Loops Flosstube video. It's September 19th, 2020. Welcome one and all. Let's talk a little bit about stitching, shall we? Well, since it's been a couple weeks since we talked, I thought I'd update you a little bit on my progress, and I've been very much in the fall spirit. So I did finish the Spooky String by Lizzie Kate. If you remember, I think I showed this pattern last time. Long and narrow, fairly fun and fast to do a little bit of it each night. And this is on 14 count Ada, coffee tea dyed by me. I kind of like the coffee look to it. Kind of gives it a little more of a spooky feel. So I hope to finish these all and have them interchange in my decor. So I think the next one will probably be a Thanksgiving one. So. All right, let's talk about another Lizzie Kate. She was popular in my stitching. Okay, this one is by in Autumn Smalls number 185. I have finished previously a couple different patterns. This one I'm doing is the Autumn. And I have that completed. It's on, I believe, 14 count Oatmeal Ada. There are some eyes and some buttons that need to go on here, but I haven't got those finished. But the cross stitching itself is actually finished. So I'm happy to have that. With the way I get things fully finished, it seems like maybe next fall I'll actually be able to display it. Better than never, right? I think that means I'm pretty much a process stitcher. I enjoy the process, not really the finishing of the thing. Alright, if you remember last time, I had finished a pattern from the Ooh La La by Blackbird Designs book. I started another one. And this one is, I believe, it's called Last Rose of Summer. Yes. So here it is in the book. It has the date and some initials and some other motifs on each side. I simplified it because I just love the vase of flowers in the middle. And I did it on some darker coffee tea dyed fabric. And here's how it came out. I am very pleased with it. So it didn't take as long as I expected. And one of these days I'll start yet another pattern from that book. But right now I'm in the mood to stitch and start lots of things, so we'll have to see what may be next. Since we talked last, I was involved in the Friend Stitch by Bent Creek and Heart in Hand, and I'm not going to do any spoilers, but if you ever get a chance to sign up for one of those, it was about a 7-hour educational with cross stitch, some lessons on some different stitches, and a few other tutorials on finishing. I encourage you to become involved in that, and that was fun. It fit in my schedule. Number one, it was on a weekend. I didn't have to miss any work. Number two, it was on Zoom, so then I could spend my stitching money instead of on a hotel with lodging on actual stitching supplies. And while I didn't do any of the projects in the kit, which I will, but I told myself my goal really for that day last Saturday was to actually learn to stitch on linen, to actually force myself to do it. It's not hard. I bought a few hand-dyed pieces of linen already, so I just needed to take the leap and jump in, and that's exactly what I did. I made up my own little pattern on some 32 count Weeks Dye Works fabric, and I made some heart motifs. 2 floss over 2. And that's what I did when I was watching and learning, and I'm actually really happy with that. It's unlike probably anybody else that attended, but I'm happy with being able to learn that, to set aside the time to actually learn it and practice it, and I'm very happy with that. So, and that was on my favorite color, one of my favorite colors of DMC 3777. I love that red. If you need a good red, that may be the one for you. So that was a wonderful day, and I'm not going to show any of the other projects because I don't want to be a spoiler, but it was fun, and eventually I'll get all these other ones done too, and then I'll get to show those. But I wanted to wait till after the next class, and I believe October is done, so they can have fun and a surprise as well, just like I did. So let's talk about what I've been working on. It's actually part of a design that I actually left in the other room, so I guess I'll have to show it to you finished next time. It's one by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. It's kind of has a pumpkin farm theme. I bought it last year, and I picked out part of the pattern to do. It's got a barn and a silo and some pumpkins and sunflowers on it, and that's actually the part I'm stitching, and I'm probably 80% finished with that. Too bad it's across the way. Because all the recording equipment is up, you wouldn't believe what this setup looks like to try to have this. It's a little bit dangerous to try to get over there and get back. Anyway, let's go on and talk about what I'm thinking of stitching next. Now, I do realize it's Sampler September, and I have not started a sampler. September's not over. I could still have plenty of time to even start a sampler during that time, which I might very well do. It may be a matter of narrowing down which one. But let's talk about some of the autumn things I'd like to stitch. More along the lines of pumpkin is the Stitching with the Housewives Trick or Treat. And I think I showed this as a new acquisition last time. Isn't that little witch adorable? There's nothing scary about this. So that's a possibility. Another possibility for fall Halloween-ish is a pattern by That's So Calico. If you are not on her newsletter, I encourage you to get on her newsletter. There are sometimes free patterns that you can get. And one of these is actually the jack-o'-lantern. And that may be one I start. I love oranges anyway. Boy, isn't that cute. Nothing scary about him either. Alright, one of my new acquisitions, along with some flosses to go with it, is from the Blue Flower, the Acorns pattern. Oh, there's something about those acorns. I just loved it. So most of those will be in Fancy Floss. Now, there were 2 or 3 of them I couldn't get. I looked in a couple different sites for those. It may be that a couple of those I have to sub in for some DMC, but I hope to maybe start that one this fall. The last one that's on the list of things, I actually have some fabric coming for it, is Harvest by Hands On Design. I'm trying out a couple different, not black, but it looks like a dark brown as a possibility, and maybe next time if I end up with the fabric and I like it, I can show it to you what I'm actually going to give that a try on. And it's charted in DMC, and that's probably what I will use as well. Oh, the very last one. I've actually kitted this up already. By Plum Street Samplers Gobble Gob. And that may be something I have to start in November for Thanksgiving. Who doesn't like a cute turkey? I mean, really. Okay, so that's kind of on the horizon. Let's talk about other things I've been working on, since I like to create and do lots of different types of crafting. I've been working on a crochet shawl. It's a moss stitch triangular shawl. You can find tutorials on YouTube, and here's what I've done so far. And there are tutorials to tell you exactly step by step how to do this. There isn't a formal pattern as far as how big it should be. So I'm just going to go until I feel like it's the size I want, and then it's good. I have a picture on my Instagram, and that's Interlocking Loops on Instagram, of it more close up so you can actually see the texture. I don't know how easy that is to see there, but that's what I love about it the most. This yarn is fingering weight, and it's on a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and it's from Leading Men Fiber Arts. I have 3 colors here. I'm not entirely sure how big this I will make this shawl, but the 3 colors, I'll just show you. The first one is the pink, I Only Have Eyes for You, and that's EWE. The second one is Head in the Clouds, and that is this one with the blues. And the third one is Starting Point, which has greens. So I'm considering doing it like that. So I also have in mind, I have a miter square blanket that I knit on, saving some of each of the colors to make sure I can put some of that in that project as well. So we'll see what happens. Okay, and as far as finished objects for knitting. I've actually, since we talked last, finished 2 pairs of socks. I think I flashed these before as they were in progress. These are yarn hand-dyed by Nicole Mendez on Etsy. And it has a really pretty light pink stripe, which I think caught my eye. Of course, I also like, who doesn't like turquoise? So these are knit from the top down, 2x2 ribbing, and heel flap and gusset, and a star toe. So those are finished. 60 stitches around on, I believe, 2.25 millimeter needles. And these are also very similar. I did an afterthought heel on these, and these are from Kirby Werby Yarns. And they're absolutely beautiful. So, afterthought heel. The color is fabulous. It is just as bright as it looks on here. Woo, isn't that something? Okay, well, I hope things find everybody crafty. I'm really looking forward to starting some new things here on the farm. We've done some shearing of the sheep in the last couple of weeks, so we'll be sorting through that and getting some of that off to the mill to be made into yarn, and that's exciting. I'd heard from both of my kids. My daughter has decided in college, she's in her senior year, she decided to join the cross-country team. So that's something brand new for us. At her school, they have a total of 4 meets, one of which she missed because of sorority things, but she's looking forward to competing here coming up, and that's exciting. And my son, he has a birthday. He'll be having a birthday on Wednesday, and I can't believe it's his golden birthday, 23rd of September. He's 23. I can't believe I can be old enough. I remember when I was 23. How's that possible? But as you parents know, that does seem to be possible. We just had a last cutting of hay out of the pasture just this week, and I'm thinking, as I look at a little bit of the yard, we did have about a week of rain, nearly 6 1/4 inches of rain over a whole week, which is the right pace to get it at. Our yard is starting to grow again, so we may need to run the mower around tomorrow. I love the smell of fresh cut grass, and I know this time of year there's not a lot more mowing that's going to be done. We've been able to have the windows open and enjoy the fresh breeze. No air conditioning needed, no heat needed, and it's been wonderful. And I hope you find some time to be creative and some fun projects to work on, no matter what your craft is. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye.